So good morning. We are here at the wonderful Leez Priory Wedding venue in Essex. It is brisk this morning, very brisk. So it was a -3 when I left the house this morning. I think it's warmed up to maybe 2 or 3 degrees now. So we've just been in, dumped all the first load of bags into the venue, sort of introduced ourselves to the venue coordinator and the venue manager. They've sort of given us a brief show around house rules, all that kind of stuff. And now what we're going to do is go and get some exterior shots. So I've got the drone in the back of the car. We're going to take a walk around the ground, see what we've got to work with for today. I've not shot this venue before, so it's brand new to me, which is always exciting. But yeah, let's go and do some drone stuff. As a lot of the establishing shots and venue shots are inert objects, they're not moving. I like to introduce a little bit of movement into my shots. I have a general rule of thumb that if my subject is moving, I can stay still. And if my subject is still, I need to introduce some movement into the camera. As you can see here, I've given myself some options of some slight movement within the frame and some static shots as well. Okay, so today what I've got with me is an A7S III. I actually run 2 of them. I've got one for my B camera and I've got an A7 III as my C camera. So I'm a single shooter for today. Like I said, with the 3 cameras. So with my A7S III here, it's obviously in a cage with a handle. I run a 35mm 1.4 GM and an 85mm 1.4 GM. I'm switching between those for most of the day. And I've also got the port keys monitor on the top here. I've also got the drone, that's a Mini 2. We're going to fly that now, just get some exterior sort of establishing shots of the venue. And then we're going to go around and get sort of some more interior shots. And then we're going to go and say hello to the bride. So we're going to do that now. Okay, so the thing I'm looking for when I do the drone shots is I want one super wide establishing, one close-up feature of a prominent point of that venue, and then anything else I see that I think is interesting or can be used creatively in the film. I'm not a big believer in sort of hammering drone shots. I only ever use them for a max of 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds in a film. So I don't want to spend loads of time flying the drone. I want to get it up, show where we are, find something interesting about the venue, and then get it down and crack on with my day. So now I'm going to fly over. So these towers are quite infamous for Leez Priory. So we're just going to come over and focus on the towers a little bit. And also the good point of having a drone up is that having not been to this venue before, I can now have a little 360 look around, and then we can go and explore those areas later on and look at them as potential couples portrait places. So yeah, we're going to have a little skirt around with the drone now, see what we can see. Perfect. Right, I'm going to bring the drone back, and as we're bringing it back, I'm just going to do a pan down to the venue. Again, just giving myself options for the edit. I don't know which one of these shots is going to fit the narrative yet, or fit sort of the storyline or the feel. So it's good to have a variety. So as a prime example of why we do the drone shot early is, as you can see now over there, the groom's party's just arrived. They're all unpacking their bags, getting out of their cars, heading to groom prep. So we managed to get those drone shots in just as they were arriving. And obviously something that doesn't look very weddingy or cinematic is people sort of knocking about in their jeans and their tracksuits walking into a venue. So we managed to get those drone shots done before that happened. And now we're going to pack the drone away, go and sort out the rest of the kit, and then we're going to get on with filming all the establishing shots, any detail shots we can get done early on. I prefer to that. So I prefer to film things early because it frees me up later on to be filming people, which are, in my opinion, infinitely more interesting. Again, this is something I prep my couples for. So we've been here for about 45 minutes now. And I've said to the bride and groom, look, you're not going to see me for the first hour and a bit. And then I will come to you when you're most of the way or partially ready, especially for things like bride prep. No one wants to be filmed with makeup half done, hair half done, and all that kind of stuff. So we leave that to a little bit later on, get all the filming of things done early, and then go straight on people later on in the day. So as you can see here, I'm capturing the towers at Leez Priory. They're quite famous, these towers, so it's important to get a couple of shots of those towers from different perspectives to tell the story in the film, because that is one of the highlights of this venue. As you can see, I switched between the 35 and the 85 to really give myself different perspectives on that. tried to get through this door, didn't really work out, so we had to walk the long way around. So another thing that he's doing this morning is that we need to sort out all the other cameras and the lights for later on in the day. So I prefer to do that this morning if I can. While we've got a bit of dead time, I don't want to be missing things later on in the wedding day for setting up things like lights and cameras. So we're going to dump this now, head back to the car, get the lights out, go and put them up, then get the tripods and all that stuff, take them into the ceremony area, and then we'll go from there. I'm always looking for personal features on the wedding day, so things like this memorial table or signs with the couple's name on it, stuff that separates their wedding from all the other weddings that happen at these kind of venues. Good morning, how are you?
Lovely day. I mean, not great.
Beautiful day.
Not for photographs or videos.
Still look beautiful, very good.
Yeah,
It's just it's harder for me, it's not harder for you.
We were squinting, but I said, this is very smart.
So we've already had the drone up, done the drone shots, so we're gonna get all the lighting set up in there now for you, and then we'll crack on. Where are you getting ready?
The fisherman's cottage. So
Just that one there?
just that one. No, the fisherman's cottage. It's the granary.
Granary, right.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for my other groomsmen. They're supposed to be here at 11, but no.
Fashionably late, that's all right. Yeah, so we'll probably leave it another half hour, 40 minutes, and then we'll come see you.
I'm guessing we all need to be suited and booted by then, unless you want to film us getting changed.
What time you aiming for, like 1ish to be ready for?
We're going to aim, probably be before then, like 12:30.
Half 12, okay, perfect. Yeah, so we'll probably be with you, just before 12, and then hop our heads in.
Well, we should have our suits on, right?
Whatever state you're in, we'll start filming from there. We'll just do jackets and bow ties and all that good stuff. All right, see you in a bit. Now, I know there's a plethora of filmmakers on the internet that talk about fighting light and filming with one bag. Hats off to you if you can do that, but for me, light, stabilizers, everything else makes my life easier. So this bit of making my life harder, carrying this bag around and taking everything with me, pales into insignificance with the results you can get from lighting speeches and dance floors and stabilizing all your equipment in the right way. So what we're going to do now is take the bag into the reception area. I'm going to set the lights up now, good to go for later on in the day then, and then we're going to go meet the bride and see how bride prep's getting on. So in here I've got all my lights. So I've got 3 video lights that I use, 2 little Godox ML60s and 1 Godox V150, I think it is. Again, I'll link it in the description below. So yeah, 150 watt light and 2 60 watt lights. So that's what I'm going to light the speeches for, which is in here. The room isn't set up yet, so all I'm doing now is putting them on the light stands, prepping them so I can just slide them into position later on, plug them in, and we're good to go. In here I've also got a gimbal, and I've also got a microphone stand. So especially for British weddings, you don't tend to get microphone stands that come with the speeches, so I bring my own. They only cost 25-30 quid off Amazon. It just means I can center the speeches, I can place where I want the speech giver to be, I can light it properly, I can light the couple, and then I know that those are the only places the action's going to happen. So it just gives me an element of control. I have spoke to the couple about it previously, so I'm not just sort of ad hoc doing this on the day. So they know it's going to happen, they're happy with it to happen. Again, it's all about working with a couple to create a cohesive film and give them the coverage that they want. So what we're going to do now is set up the lights. So one of the challenges we're going to find, especially operating in venues in the UK, is that they're quite small and can be quite weirdly lit, and the access around the couple on the top table tends to be fairly limited. So in terms of lighting things professionally, sometimes we're lucky and we can do exactly what we want and get the look we want. Other times we're very much curved and constrained by the venue and its layout. And that means we just kind of, not winging it in, that's the wrong way of putting it, but you kind of just have to do the best with what you're given. So this room, for example, it's got quite all right as rooms go. It's not the worst I've seen. So we should be able to light quite effectively. We've got the window obviously right behind the couple, so something we're gonna have to be aware of is backlighting. So we obviously want enough kick of light in front of them, light up their faces, balance them out. So we're gonna go with the 3-point lighting setup. We'll show you how that looks later on once it's all set up. But for now, like I said, we are just setting these lights up so that they're good to drop into place when the time comes. Oh, don't want to open the door in case it's a red zone.
Oh, there we go.
Hello. Video. Is it sex coming?
Well, hang on, because Tracy's just...
Right. That's why. I'm video. Video.
I am Groom's sister.
Nice to meet you. I'm Luke. Hello, Groom's mum. How are you? There's no getting away from the video today.
Blamed you. Obviously, I've lost my nan and things like that, and it's so lovely looking back at my wedding. Yes.
Keeps it all alive, doesn't it? It's lovely.
Good memory.
Always have to knock and make sure. Morning. How are you? Oh, I'm good. All going well?
think so. I did cut my finger, so I'm currently injured. I'm a wounded soldier.
Well, that is your one thing that's going to go wrong today. So that's it. You got it done.
And it happened before I put the dress up.
Great.
So, just,
Well, that blood on a wedding dress is a story.
oh, not sorry that I want at all. Hello.
So boys are here. They're all good. All looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They're getting ready.
Oh, they're all over there getting ready.
Oh, okay. Good.
So that's always positive. They've all turned.
This. Sorry, it's a real mess. Did
Don't worry about it.
you think of the venue?
It's lovely, isn't it? And the weather's turned up here. It's got it all going on. Looking beautiful.
Thanks, Sue. You look sweet. You said that.
Oh, that's right.
So what do I do? Just being that?
You can absolutely ignore me unless I need you to do something.
Oh.
Just do what you were doing anyway. So how bad's the cut?
I think it'll be all right. I think I'll be able to take the plaster off, but it was just, was just bleeding a bit too much.
Was she having a coat hanger?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be as pushed for light as I thought we were going to be. So I tracked it last night and it was still light at 4:30. It depends what time your speeches end up wrapping up, because that's going to be your sunset portion, is when you've got speeches in before dinner.
Yes.
Sort of 4:30 onwards. So what we'll do is we'll do speeches, and then as soon as they're done, I'll stick men out the door. If we can get the last 5-10 minutes, we might just, but we want to be up where we're having dinner anyway, at the top.
See, just in back.
Literally like maybe at the driveway, just get a bit of the last bit of light. But yeah,
We'll
maybe.
be waiting for our food anyway. Like, just so we don't really care.
And you're going to be right by the bin anyway. It's literally going to be a 5-10 minute sort of out, get a nice bit of golden hour hopefully. So yeah, maybe we'll stick a bit more with the traditional plan. We'll let you mingle for a bit, and then we'll do
Take us away and do what.
just before they start calling everyone down more.
And what's our code word if I need a little get away from everyone?
Whatever word you want it to be.
Just be like, oh, should we take a picture?
Just ask.
Bit random, and then I'll be like, not really. I just needed to get like.
Do you want a picture by the lake?
Yeah.
Just say, I want a picture by the lake, and then we'll. I probably need to explain what that means for the BTS now, don't I? So, little tip is I say to all my couples that if they ever want 10 minutes to themselves on a wedding day, they can use me as the fall guy. So we have a code word or a code phrase. I will then be the fall guy and be like, right, we're going to go and have, like Rachel said, photos by the lake. And then we'll just go off, and then I will leave them alone for the 10 minutes, and they can go and have a bit of time to themselves, just if they get a bit overwhelmed or just want to soak it in together. If you're in the dress, then your dad, then your ceremony, you're going to get there and feel quite rushed.
I'll be guided by when I need to be.
I mean, it feels like we're very on track. It's a very chilled
Vibe going on, which is good.
Jeremy's like, I'm not feeling it.
So we're going to shoot over and see the boys now.
Yep.
Get a bit of them getting ready, because then we can kind of leave them alone.
Yeah.
Come back, and then we'll be easy.
Oh.
All right.
Get the shoes.
Let's go and see the boys.
Hey, boys, he's
Also give them a bit of a boot if they're
left.
enjoying a beer or 2 minutes.
They'll be all right. Donald's not a big drinker, but he keeps saying that today he's like, I'm going to have to because of my speech. So I'm like, is this a good idea? You don't drink much, and it's all said that on your wedding day, you're like, I might get the ick, I might chaper. Oh.
Oh, by the speeches, it's too late. It's all done, mate. Yeah.
And like, oh crap, getting on. Still had a big party, it's fine.
But I mean, hopefully, I know the ice is going, but if it stays cold, hopefully it won't be too muddy. This area I'm gonna put down as a Brucey bonus. I think we focus courtyard, tower out the front.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be limited by the night. So I just said to her then, I was like, we'll maybe leave them for a bit to mingle, do groups, and then stick with as all the guests go off, take that half hour. And then I was like, well, as soon as speeches are done, we'll stick our head out. And if we are getting a nice sunset, depending on how long the speeches last, obviously, because it's right when sunset's going to be, and at 4:30.
4:30.
Yeah, 3:30. Everyone's being very good. Bottles of water.
I know, we've got Prosecco, eh?
I know, yeah. Double worry.
The one... I've got to jack it up.
Old man's got to get up. Too soon?
I'll be a bit much.
Move all this stuff out the way. Shoot general this way down by the window. But all the stuff that's here, we basically want to shoot general against this window. So can we get all the bags and shoes and stuff moved sort of this end for us? Is that all right? Thank you.
That way's fine.
Pretty much, yeah.
You've not been driving this entire time. No, I only got.
Yeah, it's weird. It's work.
It's a weird thing to have a picture taken off.
Yeah, exactly.
So in a minute, we're just going to get a couple of shots of you, sort of bow tie, putting the jacket on, sort of just the detaily bits of what you're wearing, and then we'll do a group shot of the boys. Yeah.
Cheers.
How's it looking on that back one? I think open for the window shots, because I'm gonna be waist up from here.
Yeah, that's fine.
We don't have to do the chair. The chair can just block off. Let's not do the chair.
Come back to move the coffee table and sit in the middle of that chair instead of this one.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll head out of your...
Yeah, fun. So it's called false colour. So it takes the colours out of it. You see, so I can see how well the camera's exposing. So when it's pink and green on someone's face, I know it's the right exposure for what the camera needs.
Okay, relative to the natural light coming in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you literally just sort of slide it halfway down your arms. It's just that last flick on. sort of 45 degrees towards the window, and then you're just going to sort of play with your bow tie.
Put the drink down. Yeah.
So if I'm just going to place you here, we get a couple of individuals of you there while we're
Get done up, undone.
undone, I reckon. So a little tip for today: when we ask you to put your hands in your pockets, if you sweep your blazer back, because it stops the foot, stops it looking. That's it, perfect like that. Just lets the jacket sit a bit nicer on you.
Alison wants to see it actually.
Okay, ice me, chaps.
Wear that also looks fantastic. Stand by side while we're doing hand signs. Actually, it helps how you put it on.
Would you like to take your glasses?
We're gonna go and see Rachel, so we'll see you in a bit.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Well.
See you shortly.
I might have to stick it right at the back, low.
Let's get everything sort of in and
So it's, again, just a case of one of those things, as I'm walking around the venue, anything I see that are detail bits or personal to the couple, or I'll bring out some of the personality of the venue, then I'm just going to grab it as I go around. We're very fortunate with this venue. There's lots of these lovely windows with the ironwork, and again, with it being so sunny today, there's a lot of harsh lights that we can play with, a lot of harsh shadows, which is always nice. And I always like to get one tight, one slightly wider. So as I said, I'm on a 35-85 setup for the majority of the day. The other lenses I've got with me today are a 16-35, which is on my B cam. That's more for, especially in UK venues, a lot of it's quite tight. So if you need that little bit of extra reach, I don't like going to 16mm, I think it's a little bit too wide for weddings, but is there should I need it, or you need to get a large group in. There's some situations where 35 just won't be wide enough. So it's good to just have that as a backup camera there. I can just grab, like we just did it for the groom prep shots. When we did the groups of the guys outside, I jumped straight to a 16-35. I think I was on about a 20, between a 20 and a 28mm for most of those shots. I definitely prefer shooting with primes, but yeah, this needs must sometimes, just the lay of the land and the situation doesn't allow you to get everything in that you need to. So yeah, I've got every focal range from 16mm all the way up to 85, so it works pretty well. Cheers. Assistance with a bow tie, please. Is it just a clip-on one, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't get the adjustment. I think if that does up, that might be right.
Don't choke you too much. I think it might need to be a little bit more.
One more. We own one. Yeah.
Happy?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
No worries.
A sign in the background.
Okay, so it's half an hour before the ceremony, so it's time to go and mic everyone up. So today we've got the groom, who's obviously going to be speaking, the bride, and the bride's sister-in-law is doing a reading. So a prominent point to do this on the wedding day is the bride is currently jumping in her dress. Obviously don't want to be in the room at that point, so we've left Rachel to jump in her dress, and we're going to go and mic everyone up now. Two different mics on offer today, so I've got TX650s. One of these will be going on the groom, one of these will be going on the registrar, one of these will also be going on the ceremony reading. I've also got a TX650 which I'll put under the groom's jacket, so I always double mic the groom, just as a bit of a fail safe, make sure that we have nice clean audio. I don't tend to mic brides unless it's requested, but by having 2 mics on the groom, I normally get good enough audio from the bride speaking. They're going to be nice and close. It's indoors today, you're going to be holding hands, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. So we're going to shoot off now and go and mic everyone up. We're going to slide in here. This one, you got anything in your pocket here?
Oh, just my handkerchief. That would be fine. Where should I put this one?
You can leave it in there. It's only if it's phones and wallets and that kind of stuff that.
Oh, it's small. If I need to get it out though, in case I cry, which will potentially. Is there going to be?
You got a pocket on the other side?
Yeah. Can we put that one in this side or?
Only because when you're stood at the front, Rachel's going to be stood this side of you. So I want it as close to her as I can get it.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes.
Sorry to be a pain. That's that.
I'm sure there's a.
If I see you start wiping your nose with my recorder, I know we've got it wrong. Love it. Thank you very much.
So it was going to be a surprise, but my little 6-year-old is going to come up and read the first verse as well.
Okay.
Is that doable?
Were you doing it off a bit of paper? Are you then reading off that bit of paper, Adele? Do you want to clip that on the bit of paper?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, doable. So I should put that in my handbag for now. So I don't know what the running order or anything is.
It's only a foot. You got a spare? We'll do some stuff in the hallway. We'll set the mirror and stuff up. So there's the red chair. So there's like 3 prominent points we want to do out there.
You want me to put that on and then come out?
And then we'll do it. Well, we'll film the veil going on. Then we'll move you out there, and we'll try and get all that done before Dad and registrars. And then once those 3 shots are done, we'll. Right, so it's 5 minutes before ceremony. We're just about to do dress reveal with Dad. So Rachel is on her way down. We'll film that, and then as soon as Rachel and Dad have seen each other, then the registrars are going to want to see Rachel. We can't film that bit, so that's our cue. Hot-tail it to the ceremony, set everything up, get the cameras all good to go, and then it's time to get married. But if you go on my left, because I'm probably, as they get closer, I'll move around that way to get Rachel's reaction. Yeah, do you want to go where the fireplace is?
Okay. Girl service, bathroom, corrugated.
Okay, so we've got to the ceremony now. You see a busy room. Bride's just getting ready to come in. So all I'm doing now is getting some shots of the groom, chatting amongst the guests. I'm going to get some guest shots because we've not really had a chance to do any guest stuff this morning. And then it'll be time for the ceremony.
Could I ask you all please to stand for the arrival of the bride? Fine.
Find someone that you want to be there with you through those times. Most importantly, Marry the one that makes passion, love, and madness combine.
I do solemnly declare that I know not
Of any lawful impediment, may not be joined in matrimony.
So, real life issues. I left my camera on 100 frames a second, and halfway through the ceremony I got an overheat warning on the camera, so I had to cut the film in between the bride giving the groom giving his vows and the bride giving hers, switch it to 50 frames a second and back in. Luckily the temperature warning's not come out, but we are just gonna let the dummy battery out, let the camera cool down for 2 minutes while we're signing the register, because I'm not allowed to film that here in the UK. Yeah, then it'll be ceremony exit. We pre-discussed with the couple about doing some form of features. They exited, they chose to do this little stop kiss. It gives us a bit more time, everyone clapping and cheering, and extends that moment out a little bit longer. Okay, so confetti shot. I'm gonna move to 120 frames a second. 100 frames a second, F4. Me and Molly, the photographer, are gonna stand static at the end of the line and just get the couple walking towards us. So nice and simple today. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, when Rachel and Jan will get to you, please throw the confetti up and at the person opposite you. Please don't throw it until they get to you. If you've got keys, coins or small children, please put them away. They do not look good in my shot. Thank you very much. So when I'm filming my confetti shots, I like to stick around an F4. I quite like the look it gives me. I want some of the guest faces in focus. I want obviously the confetti in focus, and I want the couple in focus. So it works well if you're static at the end, like I am here on an 85, or if you're going to walk back and track with a couple on, say, something like a 35. F4 I found to be quite a nice look to go with this shot. From there we move straight on to group shots. So as you can see, I've got the drone up here, and we got a drone shot of the big group shot. I like to get a bit of elevation for the large group shot. Just sort of did a simple movement round, whilst Molly shot it from eye level, which I think for film always looks a little bit flat. So that is ceremony done, confetti done, big group shot done. So now we're going to move on. We're going to give the couple 10-15 minutes to do some mingling. We're going to do some candids. Then we are very quickly going to run up to the reception hall, because we've still got to place the lights out. Remembering that today's speeches are pre-dinner, so we need to have that set up by the time we get in there, and we want to maximise our couple's portrait time with the couple, especially with this time of year. It's currently February, so we're going to lose the light a lot quicker. It's already started to dip over the horizon, so we're going to do all that quite quick fire. It's going to be thick and fast for the next couple of hours, especially when you're shooting on your own and there's no one else to back you up, help you out, or go and split yourselves equally. So no rest of the wicked, let's go and do it. As we started to go around and get candidates, we actually had this quite random paraglider turn up, and he sort of did a couple of circles and was waving at the crowd, so I captured that for the couple. From there we left the bride and groom to sort of mingle for 10-15 minutes, and we shot back up to the reception room and finalised the setting up of the lights. This is a little bit more of a drawn out process in this video than I normally like to do, but with the room not being set up in the morning, it was hard to sight and place the lights there and then, so it meant we had to sort of sacrifice 10 minutes of our day during the reception to get out there and get this sorted for the couple by the time they came into the room for their wedding breakfast a little bit later on. But as you can see here, I'm setting the lights now, aiming this one where the microphone stand is going to be for the main speaker. This one is going to be the key light for the couple, and then this one in the corner is the big 150-watt light, and that is just going to give a nice spread of clean light over the entire area. Okay, so I've just got the lighting set up in the reception room before we quickly jump back and go and get some candid. So 3-point lighting set up. So bride and groom are going to be sat here. So here you can see how I'm lit. So I've got a light behind the mic stand over here, which is where the speaker's going to stand, obviously. We place them to the right-hand side of the bride and groom, slightly proud of the table, so they can still see the bride and groom, but they're delivering to the room. Again, we don't want to disrupt the flow and the feeling of the speeches by getting too involved, but we want it to look good for the film. So we've got a backlight behind them to give them a nice hair light over the top. Got a key light here for the couple in front of me. As you can see here, that's lighting me nicely here. And then I've got a little light in the corner, or the big light in the corner, I should say, just sort of giving a nice spread of soft light over the sort of whole area. So none of these lights are on too strong. I think we're on 20% on the ML60, we're on 40% on this ML60, and I think I'm on 30% on the big 150. So it's not cranking it all the way up, it's just giving it a nice kick of light. The background behind me might be a bit blown out now, I don't know how it's looking. However, when it comes to speeches, it's going to be getting dark. So I need to balance these lights to think of that. The lighting here is going to change, a lot of the ambient light is going to go. So I need these lights to take over when that happens. So we've done that. We've got a few shots of the table set up, and now we're going to shoot back to the venue. We're going to do some candids, then we're going to do some group shots, and then some couples portraits, then we're straight in here for speeches. So let's go. So as we headed back to the venue to meet the couple, we decided to do the group shots out by the tower. And as Rachel's walking there, we decided to get some individual portrait shots of her walking. I always like to get a couple of shots of the brides walking in their dresses. I think it's a really nice way to add to the film. And then we had these really cool sun flares that popped out, and it looks really, really nice. See, did you see the angle of the sun? So it's catching the outside of your head.
Then I'll start walking a bit closer to your wife.
Little kiss, say hi.
Can I just check, is my veil, has it gone one?
Well, you can't do this.
Is my jacket okay, Luke?
Hang on, you've got
Do this.
a hair. There we go, mate. You're all good.
I think it's just been stepped.
When things like this happen, so photographers are doing stuff or we're doing dress malfunctions, there's always other things you can film. So at the moment I'm getting Rachel's hands on Janel's shoulders, and they're little snippets we can use in the film just to bridge those shots. So as we moved on to the group shots and family shots, this is way more of a photography area. I know it doesn't really work for film. We need obviously a bit of movement, but it's still important to capture everyone who's important on the wedding day. So that's what I like to do. And I like to capture the moments in between those shots where everyone's laughing and joking with each other. The couple were then invited up to the wedding reception area to view the room before the guests were invited up. So we had an impromptu couple shoot. As you can see, I like using my foreground, middle ground and far ground to create that sort of cinematic look and create a bit of movement in the shot. This was really simple, just ask the couple to walk, and as they walked, we filmed them. Sometimes it doesn't need to be any more complex than that. And here's the couple inspecting their room. So again, another good opportunity just to get them naturally acting together. Whilst they were chatting to the venue, I started putting the audio recorders on the mic, ready for the speeches. We had to move on to a few more of the bridal party shots, the bridesmaids dancing, which is always a nice shot to get. We also got some of the groomsmen, then some of all the group together. Again, a bit more photography led. And then kindly asked these guests to move out the way. They were more than happy to oblige. Then we moved on to our official couples portrait session. I always like to give my couples a natural cue to work with, and that is key, I think, for me to get those moments between them that not only look good because you professionally pose them, but get them to react in a way that is natural to each other and makes it infinitely less awkward, and means that they're going to love those moments even more because they're not going to think back and think, oh, that was awkward or we look awkward, because they're acting how they would normally act. I've got a few little phrases that I like to use. A personal favourite of mine is getting the groom to whisper in the bride's ear in the sexiest voice he's got exactly what he had for breakfast that morning. That always gets them to laugh naturally together by getting them to react naturally together and react how they would normally react when it was just them alone. They will love that shot even more. Then it was time for the couple to be announced into their wedding breakfast and to film the speeches. So we did have a bit of a technical issue when it came to the speeches, and that was that I cross-threaded the bolt that holds the microphone stand up, and so it kept dipping. So in between the first two speeches, I ran forward to Janel and just said, put the microphone stand to one side, just hold the microphone and carry on as you were. which he did, and it still looked great. He still stood where I'd lit, but again, just sort of had to work around that technical issue on the day. But here you go, here's Janel's speech.
But in all seriousness, Rachel, you're one of the most caring, supportive person I've ever met. You're always there to encourage me to be the best version of myself. And I just love how you're always there for your family and friends, like Jem said in his speech.
Photographers always take all the glory. All the glory. Yeah.
People only really care about a film, though. Everyone knows that.
There you go. So as you can see there, I've just put the lights on. So for today's wedding, this is the dance floor. It's not very big at all. You're probably talking 12 foot squared. We've got upwards of 100 guests to get in here, film the couple, cake cut, and first dance in here, so it's going to be a little bit tight. So I'm going to try and do it on a 35. May not be able to do it, may have to jump down to the 16 to 35. We'll see once the couple get in here how it looks. 2-point light set up for dancing this evening. In here, I've got them literally lit at diagonals. So when I spin around the couples, I like to parallax around the couples. As I'm parallaxing around, that gives me an even spread of light all the way around them. If I just lit it from one side, then you'd have a shadow side and a light side. Might have the lights as high up as I can get them and angled them down, because the last thing you want is to walk underneath the lights. You cast a shadow on the couple and it kind of takes the cinematic edge off that shot. So yeah, lights up as high as we can get them, evenly lit across, and we'll see how it looks when everyone gets in it. What are you filming, Brooke? What are you filming? A behind the scenes of the behind the scenes. A battle of the cameras. So the first dance and cake cut ended up being a lot more compact than I think we'd given it credit for, so I did have to move to the 17 to 28. And as you can see, the banding from the LED sign in the background is really, really bad. I tried changing my shutter speed, but no matter what I changed it to, I couldn't dial it back out. So normally I like to spin around my couples during the first dance, but as you can see by how compact this room is, there was just no opportunity to do that. So I decided to film it static. I still tried to introduce a little bit of movement where I could, getting down nice and low to sort of make them feel more prominent in the frame. They did this really nice spin at the end, which was lovely. We moved straight outside for a sparkler shot after that. So as you can see, getting everyone organised, so we went for exactly the same layout as we did for the confetti shot. So 2 lines, the venue went round and lit everyone's sparklers. I've got a 2 light setup for this. So 1 light directly behind the couple and 1 light behind me at 45 degrees. And they're set at different white balances as well. So I've got 5600 behind the couple. I've got 3200 Kelvin looking at the couple to match the sparkler warmth. And as you can see, the backlight there really catches the smoke from the sparklers, and you get really nice colour contrast within the shot. And I love lighting sparkler exits like this. Yeah, I think it looks really, really cool. As the couple got to the end, we pulled them forward of the light so they were in the shadow, and that gave us an opportunity to get this really nice silhouette shot. Again, playing with the light and moving just to get those sort of flares in. And I think that's a really nice shot. I was really happy with that. Then we moved straight onto the dance floor. Always a high energy, fun moment of the day. And we like to get on the dance floor and get nice and up close and personal with everyone. As you can see, here's Rachel dancing, having a good time. Again, really small room, very, very busy, which is good. That's what we like for dancing. I'm switching constantly between a 35 and an 85. I tend to stay on the 35 for the first 3 or 4 songs while the dance was really busy. And as it sort of thins out, I then go to an 85 for those sort of more isolated moments. You know, the DJ had a lot of lights up, so there's a lot of colour contrast in these shots, a lot of high energy moments. So these shots are actually sped up to 110% of their original state, because I like that sort of higher energy choppiness you can get by doing that. Okay, so we didn't get a chance to do the behind the scenes footage of the shot we just done, but I'm going to walk you through it now. So as you can see behind me, there is a light. So it's just one of the ML60 buys that I've got bought outside. We're in this lovely archway at the venue. We got the couple posed, and then I used this atmosphere aerosol in between the light and the couple. And what it does is it catches the light. If you've ever watched anything sort of cinematic in Hollywood and you see the light coming through the window, it's this kind of stuff they use, and it's really, it catches in the light. It sticks around for a while, and it's really, excuse the buzzword of cinematic, but it gives a really nice sort of light flare. So we've got a couple of poses. I'm going to obviously roll a few clips of what we captured, even though we didn't get any behind the scenes of it. It was all a bit rushed. I mean, the temperature at the moment, I reckon, is probably about -2. So Rachel, the poor bride, was quite cold. So we got her out, did the shot, got her back in. But yeah, as you can see from the shots here, it came off really, really well. Really nice ending. We're going to go back in now and do a bit more dance floor stuff. And then it'll be nearly time to call it a day. So let's go and do the last few bits. I've always loved the look you can create with a one light setup and a little bit of creativity. And as you can see, these shots are really, really lovely. And it is really, really simple. It's just a little bit of that atmosphere, aerosol, one light. Ask the couple to do something like practice their first dance or do a spin, and boom, there you go. You've got such a beautiful shot. I'm not someone that tends to ever show my couples what I filmed on the day, but I was so happy with this shot I had to show Rachel and Jana when we got back inside. So this is me showing them just how cool it looked, and they were really, really happy with the shot. And Jana was just saying to me how good that's going to be when it gets in the edit and I've had a chance to play with it. And then just like that, it was all over. That, my friends, is a wrap. Okay guys, so that is the wedding day over and done with. We've just come back to the car. I've just parked all the stuff back in the boot. So there's a couple of things I'm going to run through now that I didn't get a chance to do inside. So you'll see the dancing footage. So how that works for me is I like to get on the dance floor with the couple and the guests. You may see me shaking the camera around a lot, so that's something, a technique I use to create higher energy. So those shots, I'm never going to slow them down. I very rarely use slow motion dancing shots. I want that to be high energy. If anything, in my edit, I speed it up to 110% of real speed, just to add a bit more choppiness and a bit quicker action to it. So those camera movements that you see me doing, getting down and getting a bit weird, that just helps me feed into that high energy moment, because the dancing is always a high energy moment. So by flipping the camera around and creating those sort of quick movements, it feeds into that narrative. 35 I tend to use early doors when I first get on the dance floor, because that's when the most people are going to be on the dance floor, compacting it in, and so it's really busy. So you can use a 35, a slightly wider angle, to show how busy the dance floor is. Then as it peters out, which it always does after 3 or 4 songs, that's when you switch between an 85 and a 35, because the 85 allows you to isolate individual people, individual faces and the arms going, all that kind of good stuff. So that's why I like using the 85. Both of those are used at a 1.4 the majority of the time. There's obviously a lot of lights and strobes and that stuff going on, but we want to isolate one subject at a time, and that'll be the focus of that shot. Lighting wise, normally I use a 2-light setup. Today I only used a 1-light setup because as you can see from the room in there, it's actually a really small room and it had a kind of domed ceiling. And with all the DJ lights in there, I didn't want to overpower it with the lights. I didn't want to give it too much. So I adapted what I did, put a single light in there just to balance out the skin tones a little bit. So with that, normally I would put a 2-lighting setup in, but again, it didn't need it. So I hope you enjoyed today. That is the end of the behind the scenes for today. I hope you found it useful and insightful. If you did, then I would really appreciate you liking this video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this, and hop over to Instagram, follow more of my day-to-day work, see more of my work. And if you'd like to see how the finished film look, it'll be on a card in a minute up here. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.